The Ukraine-Russia conflict has reached a critical juncture, and the latest developments are nothing short of alarming. But here's where it gets even more intense. Ukraine's military claims that Storm's Shadow missiles, also known as Scalp, struck a Russian chemical plant in the Bryansk region, which was reportedly producing gunpowder, explosives, and rocket fuel. This bold move, announced late Tuesday, highlights Ukraine's growing ability to penetrate Russia's air defense systems. Alexander Bogomaz, the governor of Bryansk, confirmed the attack, stating that drones and missiles were used. The Russian Defense Ministry also acknowledged the strike, though details remain scarce. And this is the part most people miss: these missiles are a joint French-British effort, showcasing the international support Ukraine has garnered in its fight against Russia. Meanwhile, Kyiv faced a terrifying night of Russian missile attacks, with fires erupting and windows shattering across several districts. Mayor Vitaly Klitschko reported that emergency services were dispatched to areas hit by debris, but thankfully, no casualties were reported. Other cities, including Zaporizhzhia, Dnipro, and the Danube port city of Izmail, also came under fire. This wave of attacks underscores the relentless nature of the conflict and the toll it continues to take on civilian populations. Shifting to the diplomatic front, plans for a high-stakes summit between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin in Budapest have been abruptly shelved. This decision came after an unproductive phone call between Marco Rubio and Sergei Lavrov, which also led to the cancellation of a meeting between Trump's Secretary of State and Putin's foreign minister. European diplomats suggest that Russia's uncompromising stance on Ukraine ceding the entire Donbass region doomed any chance of progress. One diplomat quipped, "It became evident for the Americans that there will be no deal for Trump in Budapest." This raises a thought-provoking question: can diplomacy truly succeed when one side refuses to budge? Volodymyr Zelenskyy offered a stark insight into Russia's negotiating tactics, stating that Moscow's interest in diplomacy wanes when Ukraine's long-range capabilities are diminished. The greater the Ukrainian long-range capability, the greater the Russian willingness to end the war, he said. This controversial interpretation suggests that Russia only engages in talks when it feels pressured. But here's the kicker: Zelenskyy's comments imply that arming Ukraine with advanced weapons could be a more effective strategy than endless negotiations. What do you think? Is military pressure the key to peace, or is there still room for diplomacy? The diplomatic efforts centered around Trump have been described as going in circles, with a senior Ukrainian official telling Agence France-Presse that they feel dragged out. Trump's latest stance is that the war should halt along current front lines without Ukraine making territorial concessions. Meanwhile, European diplomats are working on a new ceasefire proposal modeled after the U.S. 20-point plan on Gaza, with Trump potentially chairing a peace board. However, this proposal may be more about keeping the U.S. engaged than achieving a genuine breakthrough. For instance, a plan to use Russia's frozen assets to fund reparations for Ukraine is seen as a non-starter for Moscow. Is this just another example of political posturing, or could it lay the groundwork for future negotiations? Amid these diplomatic maneuvers, the human cost of the conflict remains devastating. Russian attacks in Ukraine's Chernihiv region killed 4 people and left hundreds of thousands without power or water. A daytime drone strike in Novorossiysk killed 4 civilians, including a 10-year-old child, and wounded at least 7 others. These tragic incidents serve as a grim reminder of the war's ongoing impact on innocent lives. As 35 allies of Ukraine prepare to meet in London on Friday to discuss long-term support, the question remains: how much more suffering will it take before a lasting solution is found? Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe a peaceful resolution is still possible, or is this conflict destined to drag on indefinitely?